Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be installing some Nismo engine mounts. So I've never installed engine mounts before, but apparently they're quite easy to do. Down in there, which I can't get light into at the moment. Down there should be one bolt on the top and one on the bottom, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure about the left side. All I can do is figure it out, so that's what we're going to do. But here we are, here are the Nismo mounts. Brand new. So this is the engine mount. I believe that's that side. The engine bay. But yeah, so the reason I'm replacing these is because one of the engine mounts is really bad. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, the whole thing just twists really bad. Can't have that. So you got some Nismo ones. Apparently they're like 40% stiffer or something. So they'll give me more of a smoother ride and it'll feel a lot better, hopefully. This is the other one. They're not much different, but yeah. There we are. So that's going to be our mission for today. See how this goes. So, car's already jacked up, ready to go. We're going to have a look underneath and see what I have to do here. So we have some progress here. We've taken off the intake, some intercooler piping and all the rest. If you can see down there, I get a good focus on this. It's a bit hard. Get more zoom in there. Get in there. If you can see that that bolt with a bit of white on the end of it, just taken off that bolt there. That nut there. And then we should be able to get the other nut off, and there should be one underneath. But anyway, the two bolts on the top should lift up the engine, then we can have the engine removed. And then we can try and get this one in. So this will be the first side. I'm not sure what to do for that side. I just know a little bit of what to do on this side. I watched a video on it. But everything's going smoothly so far. Lots of cuts on my hands. This thing here has heaps of zip ties on it. It's just destroying everything on my hands. My skin is just falling apart. But that's the progress so far. I'll keep continuing and see if I can get that old shit out. Alright, so new engine mount is in. It's hard to see. A lot of filling, a lot of shit. It took me a long time to get the new one in, but like 2 seconds to get the old one out. Just grab a light. Alright, got a light now. So I use these two brackets here to lift it up. You put a plank of wood in between them, and then that's how I lifted up the engine to get the engine mount in. There's the new engine mount in there. Sitting pretty, there you go. Okay, so if I can see up in there, that's the bolt. Right there, sticking out. Everything lined up perfectly. So these are the Nismo mounts. So they're going to make a big difference to how they were. I'll show you the old engine mount. Bit of a leak happening here. So here's the old engine mount. As you can see, there's a crack going along the top there, so not that good. And I can move it with my hand. So very weak and on the verge of falling apart. As you can see, there's lots of cracks in there as well. So yep, probably a good time to change these before they fail. I saw someone remove these and they were in 2 pieces, so this was off and one of these was off. So definitely no good. But now we're going to move on to this one after I put everything back together on the other side. I'm thinking about leaving the bolts loose, leaving everything off and doing this side, and that will allow me to lift the engine higher on this side and not put as much stress on the new mount. So I think that's the plan. I'll get to removing all this shit here, and then we can move on to the driver's side mount, which apparently is a lot harder because of space, so we'll get onto that. Alright, so I managed to get the driver's side out without having to take off everything else. So this is the shitted engine mount. So grip here. This is how it looks. As you can see, this right here, completely cracked. This was the main problem. I was just twisting it before. There it is. That is not good. And the new one, yeah. That's me trying to push it down at all, almost no play. So, we're gonna put this bad boy in and then go take it for a test drive, most likely. Alrighty, so skipping ahead here a little bit. So what I had to do is I didn't pull this off. There's a bracket here, see this bolt here and here? Those two bolts need to come off, and then there's a third bolt underneath. It's like a shape as a triangle but like bent on a curve. That's, if you remove that, you'll be able to get everything else off. So yeah, it just gives you space to get your hands in there and everything. But what I also did is I put this plank of wood here on the jack sideways, like so, and then lifted it up on the alternator bracket right there. See those two bolts? And that was enough to lift the engine up. Remember to undo this and this, pull the silicone back so the intake doesn't pull the intercooler with it. And that's pretty much how you get that engine mount in. There's not much more to it. If you've got skinny arms like me, you should be able to get your hands in there. If not, you might have more trouble. But that's that engine mount in. I'm just putting everything back together, and then I'm going to see how it feels in the test drive, see how much different it is. Yeah, because that one was not that good. I should have got it before of the car revving, because the engine just fully twisted every time, which is pretty bad. So hopefully that fixes that issue, and I do not have to worry about engine mounts for a very long time to come. We're all done on the S15 engine mounts. Everything's back together, ready to go. So now we're just going to take it for a test drive after I take it off the jacks. So we'll go feel the differences and see if there's any noticeable changes to the car. Alright, recording, awesome. I've knocked my mirror, there you go. So far so good, everything's working perfectly. I've also installed a radio since I've driven the car with the camera. Yeah, I could feel more vibrations. It just feels stiffer, to be honest. It just feels a lot stiffer, which I like. That just feels a lot more, yeah, just a lot more smooth, stiffer, it just feels nicer. There's a fair bit more cab noise, because the other ones were quite shit. But yeah, it definitely feels, yeah, you can just feel more. You can feel it in the steering wheel, which is strange, I might have to check that. But definitely different. Alright, we've got some traffic here, so chill. Sorry for that wind noise and shit. So far so good, everything's intact, nothing's failing, which is awesome. Crazy loud. You just get that nice feedback, and you definitely feel. Definitely feel how stiff it is. Much better. Oops, I'm turning here. So that will pretty much conclude this video. My camera unfortunately died halfway through recording this little drive. But hope you enjoyed, guys. It's
it really did change the feel of the car, and I do recommend if you've got shitty engine mounts to change it or upgrade it to a stiffer version. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.